My last race in 9th grade, it was a cross-country race, 3.1 miles. And I ran, it was 3 laps, and each lap was a mile. On the 3rd lap, I realized no one was behind me, no one was in front of me. The second to last person to finish was about 3 minutes in front of me. And so when I finished, I got a standing ovation, like, he is finally done. One of the most embarrassing moments of my life. But then 10th grade came along. I was the most improved runner, and I ran varsity for every single run. Junior year came along, I ran regionals. And just about 2 years ago, I ran my very first marathon, 26.2 miles. So if you're not good at something, if you have a weakness, you can get better. You can get significantly better and achieve your goals. But in order for you to do that, you need to do these 3 things. You need to stay committed, you need to work extremely hard, and you need to stay persistent.
Failure is supposed to happen. Every failure, every setback is setting you up for something greater in life. If you didn't get accepted to that college, there's a better college out there. If that business didn't work out, there's a better business out there. Just keep going.
Do you know what really upsets me? That 85% of people do not enjoy what they do. We spend 1/3 of our life working. So I don't care if you're a doctor, lawyer, entrepreneur, athlete making millions of dollars. If you're not passionate and fulfilled in what you're doing, game over for you. Have you ever had a parent tell you, "Oh honey, you're not good at that. I just don't want to see you hurt or fail." This happened to me all the time when I was young. I went to speech therapy class for 7-8 years of my life, and they pulled me out of school just to put me in speech therapy class. And every time I was on the phone with customer service, I was trying to handle a difficult situation, my parents would always tell me, "Oh, let your dad handle this, or let your siblings handle this. They're better at talking." Or when I tried to go for a sales position, they said, "I can't do a sales position because I'm not good at talking." Well, just know that if your parents or your loved ones or your family members or your friends are telling you you're not good at something, they're just trying to protect you. But from here on out, it's your responsibility to get rid of that limiting belief inside of you and pursue that one goal, pursue that one dream. This is story time. I remember 13 years old, right after my bar mitzvah. Most people after their bar mitzvah at 13 years old, they have this huge, extravagant party where their family puts in thousands and thousands of dollars. Well, my family didn't have that kind of money, so we had a lunch. And right after the lunch, I went to Barnes & Noble to study for my physics final. I ran into one of my synagogue teachers and she said, "Shlomo, shouldn't you be celebrating right now?" Well, I said, "Well, I have a physics final next week and I need to get an A." You see, at 13 years old, I knew the importance of delayed gratification and hard work in order to succeed. So what are you doing right now? Are you missing out on a lot of celebrations and events because you have homework or you're trying to pay the bills and you're working? Well, don't worry about it, because the ones who seek out instant gratification will eventually be stagnant throughout their life. But the ones who seek out delayed gratification will be ahead. Are you a high school boy who's never kissed a girl, has never dated a girl, has had an unsuccessful dating life? Look, life is not over. This message is for you. At the age of 18 was my first kiss, summer before college. Felt like I was on top of the world. No girl wanted to kiss me, date me. Every girl rejected me in high school homecoming and prom. But how did I go from someone who had zero self-esteem to someone who has dated multiple women? Look, I want to share you what's worked for me. Not a dating coach, not a guru, not a player, but I'm just your average Joe Schmo who has developed confidence over the years. Tip number 1, you need to surround yourself with guy friends who know what they're talking about and get advice from them. Tip number 2, you need to be confident, you need to be bold, but you cannot be cocky and pretend like someone you are not. And tip number 3 is you need to be persistent. You could get 30 no's, but on the 31st yes, someone you ask out could be your girlfriend. Do you want to know the number one thing to minimize fear? Whether you're trying to ask a cute boy or girl out, whether you want to start a business, whether you want to give a speech, whether you want to try a new sport out, whether you want a new group of friends. The number one thing you could do to minimize fear, and I did it to get better at public speaking. I did it to do my podcast. I did it to start my own business. And the number one thing to minimize fear is just to go ahead and do it. Count down. 3, 2, 1. go. Yes, you're going to have the adrenaline rushing. Yes, you're going to have the anxiety, but eventually it will subside and you will accomplish your goal. One reason why someone might bully another person is because their insecurities, and they might have a bully themselves. I was bullied for 15 years of my life, and any chance I got in school to bully someone else to make myself feel better, I would take it. I remember in 5th grade, we were all sitting in a group of 4 or 5 people during lunch, and for once I wasn't getting bullied, and someone else was getting bullied, so I contributed, and we all forced that kid to give us $1 or we won't be his friend. Obviously we got in trouble, but it taught me a valuable lesson later on in life that the more you bully someone doesn't make you a confident and dominant person. It actually makes you an insecure person. So any chance you get to save someone else from getting bullied, stand up for that person, because that's what makes you confident, not putting someone else down. The number one leadership lesson I learned in the past 10 years from 15 different leadership positions, I learned this the hard way. And if you learn this lesson now, it's going to save you a lot of headache. Being a leader is not about making yourself look good. It's about making your organization and the people in the organization look good. Here are 5 things I learned in my 20s. Number 1, say no more than you say yes. Look, don't hang out with people or don't do the activities that don't align with who you are. Your time is precious. Number 2, take risk. You have less to lose in your 20s than you do at your 30s, 40s, and 50s. Number 3, don't spend a lot of money on things that are a waste. Instead of spending hundreds of dollars on clothes, alcohol, your loan payment for a brand new car, you could be spending that money to invest in yourself or your business. Number 4, give up pleasing other people. Look, there's always going to be people who have a problem with you, whether it's your friends, your family members, random people. What people say about you is none of your business. Number 5, finally, patience. Things will happen. People will come into your life on its own terms. So stop trying to force it.